Yeah.
Guys, so I've again been struggling to come on and to do another vlog. I am sorry about that, because I do want to keep it regular. I'm encouraging the rest of the team to keep it regular as well, so it's kind of disappointing to myself that I'm not keeping it regular, so I do apologise. I decided to give meditation a go, a real go. I decided to put my all into it and to actually try it. I did, and in part of the guided meditation it said, imagine like you've got a triangle, you pick a point, go to the point. So I picked one, I went to one, and it says, imagine you see a version of you, an older version of you. And I imagined my son. Don't know why, but I imagined my son. And then he said, and look at the other corner, there's a younger version of yourself. And I saw my daughter. And it's the first time I've actually been able to imagine what they look like now. First time I actually felt connected with them. And yeah, it broke me a bit, because I realised just how much I miss them, just how much I love them. And I always knew I missed them, and I always knew I loved them anyway. That's just not even to question. But this proper hit home, because it reminded me of what I believe I can never have again. And if I did ever have that again, that I'd hate myself for introducing another sibling to two siblings who already can't see each other, which is something I've said multiple times since I started campaigning. And I'd be selfish to do that and to want that. And I do still believe that. But another part of me just wants to be a mum. It's all I know how to be. People don't realise just how lucky they are to be called mummy or daddy. Really don't understand the privilege that holds and the title that holds. And I don't blame him for not knowing, because there's an old saying, you don't know what you had until it's gone. And it's true. You don't realise just how precious life is until that life's taken away. Or it is through anything really. Forced adoption, mental health, suicide, stabbings, victims of car crashes and car accidents. I hate the word accidents when it comes to cars and vehicles. My late fiance Kieran was killed by a car. He was in the opposite, well, it was in the other lane coming the opposite way. He was on the phone and decided to overtake the car in front of that and killed Kieran on sight. Drove straight into him. So I know what it feels like to lose someone you love and someone you care about. I know the damage it does and the damage it causes. But it shows you as well how fragile life actually is. It gives you a mortality check. And I've had a mortality check just how many fucking times in my life, and it's not a fun thing to have, a mortality check. Although it's educational, although, you know, it motivates you, it's still not a pleasant thing to go through. And the reality of it is, my health is that bad. My mum's terrified that I'm not going to make it to 30. I'll be lucky to see 50. And that's the reality of it, is I would be lucky to make 50. At the moment, as it is, I'm already over halfway through my life expectancy due to my blood condition. So if you have a look through a load of my videos from what I've done previously, you'll see the weight I had on me at the beginning of the year compared to what I've got now. And I think it's the stress that's escalated my health conditions as it is. But I've been waiting for about 4 months now. for doctors in the hospital to get back to me about them to give me any results or anything, but all I'm being told is they're inconclusive, we have to do more. Well, we've ruled everything out so far, so we're going to have to look into more tests, so we're going to have to do... It's a bunch of shit. They don't want to tell me what results they've got. Probably out of fear for my mental health. But what they don't realise is I already know I've got less time than most other people. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do the videos, because whether everyone watching this likes it or not, this is probably the only way my kids are ever going to get to know me. And that's why I do this. I don't do this for appreciation. I don't do this for any other reason other than to show my kids who I am and to leave messages for my kids, to teach them how to protect their families. That's what I'm doing. I'm not out there for credit. I'm not out there to get my name known. I don't care if anyone ever knows my name. I don't care. As long as people remember the name Families Destroyed by the State, Liam Seamus Gambles and Christy Sandra Marie Gambles, obviously, then I don't care if people remember me. I don't care. I'm no one. I'm nothing. I do not matter. I never did. I mean, I could sit here now and tell you my entire life story, but I don't matter. You'll get to know me along the way anyway, because there's people who want to interview me, who want to get my story out there to help my kids get heard. But that's the only reason I do any of this, is to get my kids heard. Because they are innocent. They deserve justice, and they deserve the truth. That's why we're all fighting this, is to get justice and to get the truth. Some people find it very difficult to believe that we don't care about anything other than justice and the truth. But that's it. We don't care about anything other than making sure our children have a life that they can grow up into. That they can have a family. That they can walk safely down their streets. That their parents love them. And that they'll be able to survive and thrive in their country. Because isn't this what it's all about? Adults don't matter. Since when you become a parent, the day you find out you're pregnant, the day you find out your partner's having a child, that is the day you gave up your life to create a better one. And to anyone who thinks that going out partying or doing drugs or whatever is the best way to live and childhood destroyed that, you're wrong. I never cared about going on a night out. I still don't care about going on a night out. I've been to friends' birthday parties and been told off because I don't drink. But that's because it's not what it's about. As soon as you have that child, it's your obligation to raise that child. That is the next generation. They are the future leaders of this country, of their country. They're all that matter. And the sooner people start realising that, the sooner the country becomes a better place. Sometimes what's best for us isn't best for our child. Like feelings and emotions and relationships, sometimes, although they can seem perfect at the time, could be detrimental to the child later in life. But that's why we need to focus on the children. As soon as we focus on the children, it becomes a whole different thing. It becomes a whole different story. I was going to go into contact and court, but I think I'm going to save that for a different video because, well, children matter. Isn't that why we're all doing this? Because children matter. That's why we named our main YouTube channel Children Matter. Because children only matter. Only the children matter. Nothing else but the children matter. Well, we're having good looked after care for kids being removed from their homes. We're having at-risk kids who are genuinely at risk of being taken from their homes, being left. Because if anything happens to them, the social worker is held responsible. Because as soon as social services get involved with a case or a child, they have to stay involved up until, well, the child's either removed or the case is dropped. if they get involved with an at-risk case where the children is genuinely being beaten and they've got a social worker, the child's beaten and injured or even killed, like baby P, the social worker is held responsible because the social worker did nothing and were involved. The social workers are known as well for phoning their own social services and putting allegations in, anonymous allegations in against parents, because it only takes an allegation to get social services involved. That's it. And they make their own anonymous phone calls. We've had it come up several times over the last few years. And it's not right. It's not and the thing is, while only the forced adoption and long-term fostering parents are fighting, families are fighting on their own without the rest of the causes standing with us, then we're never going to get heard. We've got gagging orders in place. We're having parents put in prison daily for speaking about what happened to their children, for speaking their children's name, for sharing their children's face, for going to a demo about their children, because there's no numbers there. There's thousands of us being affected. Thousands. And there's only a couple of us who can actually go out there and say something, because we don't have gagging orders. But that's not going to last long. We're getting picked off one by one. And all you have to do is look at the forced adoption circles and the parental alienation circles and the long-term fostering circles, and you'll see daily parents are dying. Daily parents are being locked up. And daily children are being taken. One child every 20 minutes is being taken. We live in the 21st century, people. Look outside your houses. How many people do you see that are actually abusing their kids? And the ones that are abusing their kids, where do you see social services? I lost all my friends and all my family because of social services. For the blatant reason they were involved. And the typical stigma of, well, they wouldn't have been involved if there wasn't a reason to be involved. I used to believe that. I used to genuinely believe that. I've turned on friends because they got social services involved and I wanted to protect my own children. And it's bull. It doesn't exist. At-risk kids are being left. We are baby makers. We are children factories. And all they're doing is trafficking them. They're taking in their orders. And if you have a look at all the foster caring places and the foster carers and adopters, social services are screaming out for fosterers and for adopters to come forward because they're overloading with children. Because they are falsely taking children. You are having children pre-ordered. My daughter was pre-ordered. And we will touch on that at some point as well, but pre-ordered. She is not a takeaway. She is not a piece of meat, and she was pre-ordered. I was told I'd get to meet the adopters, which never happened. Ever. Where is she? Is she alive? Why is my head exploding so much and my heart hurting so much because something's happened? Because that's how it feels. Why can't we at least know if our kids are alive? At the bare minimum. If you're supposed to show our kids that they're wanted and that they're loved and that they weren't abused and that they're not just neglected kids and they're not just thrown into care homes because the parents didn't want them, then why the fuck aren't you letting their parents know they're alive? Why aren't you letting the children have contact with their families? If the parents are bad parents, if they have done something wrong, fine. Then you have a reason, then you should take the child and you should work with the parents to make better people, and if that doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But the rest of the family and the siblings themselves do not deserve this. Siblings are being separated to make it easier to adopt the younger ones while they're putting the older ones in long-term foster care, in care homes, to be abused, when they could be at home with their parents, being loved and being happy and being healthy. People need to wake up and see that we need help. And when we say we need help, we're not saying us, we're saying our children need help. Where are our children's armour? Where is everyone who's fighting up for the children? Where is everyone standing? Why is no one standing up for the children? Why are you only getting the odd few standing up Because they don't stand up for long, and if they do stand up, and they do stand up continuously, and they do make a noise, they're being silenced, they're being put in prison, they're being forced to take their own lives, or they're being crippled. We need you. We need you to help us. We need you to share our content, like our content. Come and see what it is that we're doing. Come to our demos. Talk to people about the issue, because this is happening everywhere. And everyone's so quiet about it because they don't want to be accused of being wrong or having social services target them too. Well, here's the thing. If you learn your rights and you learn what you can and you can't do, you can protect your own kids. That's how easy that is. That's how simple that is. You stand your ground and know what you are entitled to do, what you are entitled to do, and what you do and don't have to do. And you will be fine. You will be able to protect your children. And you're also recording everything. I always stress how important recording everything is. And that's because it is really, really important. If you want to survive these cases and you want to survive these trials, then you need to record everything. You can't leave it to risk. You can't leave it to chance. It's got to be recorded. All of it. Sorry. This is an important time of the year for everyone to stand up. And for everyone to unite and for everyone to support each other. Because we've got a lot of family holidays coming up. And I'll tell you one thing. Halloween's going to be the big one for me. And Christmas and New Year's. And you know what? Easter as well. Because Easter is the last holiday I spent with my daughter. Because she was taken just before Halloween. People don't understand how nasty people can get as well when they judge and don't know. Because all my neighbours saw me marching Christy down the street in a car seat while they were all outside, putting him in a car and then coming back, being escorted by 2 social workers and 2 coppers. Being told by the coppers that they had no concerns, that she'll be back tomorrow. It was just precautionary so that they could get to the hospital, so that, because obviously I couldn't get down there as early, even though I did. For them to drug her, a social worker, Danny Milburn, to laugh at her while she was getting her bloods taken to see if she had the same blood condition as me. But Halloween, my neighbours round here like to bring the kids round a couple of times during that night. They get egged as well. Whether I'm here, whether I'm not. Like, the house always get egged because the parents saw them me marching my kids through the street. And obviously they were never seen again. And then social, for the last 3 years, have been stopping me from moving. Because I've been trying to move. I've been trying to get out of here. Because everywhere there's my kids' stuff. There's the memories. And there's only one person on this estate that actually cares and that actually talks to me. The rest of them don't even know me. They just judge from what they saw. But fuck them. I don't care what they think. I cared about what's getting out of here. But I don't even think I'm ready to do that. This place is killing me. With the memories of them running around everywhere. The silence. My neighbours take the piss because they can. I don't think I'm ready to pack my kids away yet. It's only been a year since I last saw them. Well, just over a year since I last saw them. I don't think I'm ready to pack them away yet. I don't think I'm ready to put them in boxes, or in a loft, or in a cupboard. I don't think I'm ready to do that. I don't think I'm strong enough to do that. Because in a way, it feels like I'm betraying them and that I'm moving on without him. I'm not. I know I'm not. I could never move on from them. They're my everything. They're my reason for living. But that's just it. They're my reason for living. I don't have them. I've had a lot of choices. A lot of choices taken away from me. I've had a lot of decisions made for me. And I don't feel like I've got the choice of do or don't. I feel like I have to. Because no one else is. Or not many are. And it's all about numbers. Because that's the only way we're going to get heard. So I do it and I destroy myself and I beat myself down doing it. And it takes days to recover. Every interview, every demo, like it takes a couple of days to recover after it. It does. Because we're stuck in a constant state of having to relive everything. And I'm petrified to say it. Petrified to think it. But part of me doesn't see that changing. I don't know why. I've had my entire life ripped away from me. All for raising perfect kids. I know every parent says that. And most parents are right. Their kids are perfect. Everyone's perfect. We learn, we evolve, we adapt, we learn, we evolve, we adapt. We're constantly evolving. Children especially. And as soon as people realise that all kids actually want is attention, parenting all of a sudden becomes so much easier. Because your kid has the attention there, so they're not crying out for attention, not playing up for attention, not acting out for attention. And no one's saying you necessarily need to buy them stuff, because that's not giving your kid attention, that's shutting your kid up. We're just spending and just being there, spending time with them, getting to actually know who they are, because even though you birthed them, they are still little people, they do still have their own personalities. And that's the best thing about them. It's just how different and how perfect they are. And that's why they're coming after our kids. Because they're well behaved. They're looked after, they're polite. They're young. So they'll adapt easier and bond to other people easier. They won't put up as much as a fight. And they'll get whatever they want as well. Because foster carers, adopters and social services like to throw money at kids. I've seen that firsthand when my son was living here and they went out and they bought him loads of Play-Doh stuff and electronic remote control stuff that were all 5 years plus, and he was 2. No, it was 3, sorry. Yeah, it was 3. It was 3 and they bought him Play-Doh stuff, which yeah, was 3 plus, but they had carpet and remote control electrical stuff from the actual social worker that was 5 year plus. I know it doesn't sound like anything, but when they're coming round weekly and checking the toys to see what age they are and if they're age appropriate for him, and he's got 5-year-old plus toys when he's 3, that's a red flag in their books on me, and they were getting him those toys. So I had to leave them in a box and put them somewhere else. away. So they were still in the box and away. Because they were trying anything. You know what they say, if you throw enough mud it sticks? Well, it's true. They don't have to be right. All they have to do is talk to you. They write down whatever it is that they want to write. They'll twist your words. They'll ask you things, call you a liar and put in there that you're lying about this, that and the other, and you know they're lying because of whatever reason that you feel's going on, or because of the tone of the voice or whatever. Because that's the case of what they do. And then it becomes your word against the professionals. And I know a lot of people are stubborn of, yeah, but we'll have this, and yeah, but we'll have that, and yeah, but we'll have this. When it's your word against the professionals, in a court of law where they all work in the same system, in the same loop, and they deal with each other on a daily basis for multiple other cases, it's no longer your word against one professional. It's your word against the social workers, the health visitors, the CAFCAS workers, the midwives, and whoever else they want to bring in. That's already 5-on-1. When you get into the family court, you're done before you even start. So you need to make sure you record everything. Phone calls, meetings, even stupid conversations that seem irrelevant. Document everything, when they come round, what they're doing, who they are, and don't let them in if you don't know them. You don't have to let them in. But anyway, I'm digressing and this is going on for long enough, so I do apologise. And I'll come back to it. I mean, keep an eye out, because either today or tomorrow I'm going to be doing a video on contacts in court. So contact centre and how they apply to court, how they work with helping the court. And thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry I've not been on, and I know this has been an up and down video and an erratic video like it always is, so I do apologise. One thing I wanted to point out as well is one of our other campaigners, he did on his vlog, he said that he actually named me and said me and a couple of the others have no issue talking to the camera. Oh, we all have issues with talking to the camera. None of us like doing this, the one-on-one. We don't mind it when there's other people in there. We can put up with it because there's other people with us. But when it's actually talking to us, to ourselves, or to a camera where we're seeing ourselves, no. I mean, my leg's shaking really bad. I'm shaking really bad because my anxiety is playing up doing this, because I hate the sight of myself. I hate the sound of my own voice. I hate me. I mean, everyone says they're their own biggest critics, and I am my own biggest critic, and that mostly comes down to trauma. And I will get into trauma at some point, because for me, trauma is something that's seriously affecting me at the minute. At the minute my trauma is controlling my life, my head's exploding, and I don't know if I'm coming or going. And the way my head is at the minute, as much as I want to reach out for help and ask for help, as much as I want to talk to everyone about what's going on in my head, I can't explain it, because it's more feeling than it is actual thoughts. And currently my trauma is controlling my life. Currently, although I want to have people around, although I want to be around people, although I want to have contact and a relationship with people like they want to have with me, at the moment my trauma is that fucked up in my head, especially with the time of year. That's especially got me, especially the time of year. It's got two significance for me. One from when I was in care and my son's dad kidnapped me, and the other one from my daughter being removed this time of the year. So I'm suffering two really significant traumas at the minute, and other things are popping up around me as well, which are escalating it. And I don't want to fuck up my relationships with people, because I need them, I can help them. It's kind of an actual friendship, an actual relationship, actually family-ship. That's what it is, it's a family. But my trauma is fucking eating away at me. And I want to move on from it. I'm just struggling to move on from it. My head wants to, but my heart's pulling me back. While my depression's got me down, while my trauma's got me, and my anxiety's got me, I don't know. It's one of them where, because of what happened and reliving it, I'm struggling to take myself away from the personal side of it. I'm fine when I'm not talking about my kids, or it's nothing to do with me, or it's nothing to do with my life. I'm fine, I can cope with that, because I don't have to think about what happened to me and my kids. I don't have to think about what happened to my family. So I try not to. And I'm fine most of the time, because I'm focused on what it is that I'm doing for my kids. But it's the silence, and then thinking out loud. Although thinking out loud is a good thing. So I am going to try, fingers crossed, and have your regular updates. But I am going to end this because I'm running out of space on my phone to actually record it anyway. And I have a lot of catching up to do, because yesterday I just had to pull myself away from it. And if I'm honest, I think I still need to sort my head out. I don't think it's fucking sorted. I know it's not sorted. My head's going back and forth, and my mind's fucking going a million miles an hour. And yeah, I want to focus on my kids. Is that a bad thing to say? That I just want to focus on my kids before I lose them. Before I lose all memory of them. Before I lose our fight. I just wish someone would just turn around to me and say, you know what, you need to fight for your kids, so just fight for your kids. And we'll stand by you. When I say fight for my kids, by the way, I don't mean solely mine, I mean the kids in general, because what I'm fighting for is a future for my kids to grow up in. So it does mean all the kids. It's not just mine, because there's no way of protecting just mine without changing the entire system to protect them all. I've got a plan in place. We've got a plan in place of how we're going to do that. It's just going to take time. And the videos will get positive as we go along. It's just having a dark night of the soul, I think, and trying to figure out who the fuck what the fuck it is I'm doing, who the fuck I actually am in this, what the fuck I'm going to be doing in all this. I mean, I know it. I just need to actually acknowledge it. Mentally and physically, and I'm going to have to put up with the heartache and the pain every now and again, but that's the fight. That's what we fight for. So thank you everyone for joining. And I'm sorry it's been depressing again, but it will cheer up, and the ones with the others are cheerful, so I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.